my interest in being in the kitchen and cooking in that kitchen was not because of food and not because of needing financial help. It was because there was just the most handsome gentleman I had ever seen, and he was cooking in the dormitory kitchen. And so I told him I wanted to cook. I wanted to work in the kitchen, and how could I do that anyway? So he needed somebody and he hired me, and I started cooking, and I started cooking out of cookbooks without any thought of where this will lead, except for hopefully in a relationship with him, which it did, by the way, for a short time. But it was such a moment that it still sticks with me to this day. I don't know how many years later, 50 years later, no, more than 50 years later, of standing in that very stark kitchen, meaning just kind of stainless steel and very institutional and nothing beautiful about it, and thinking, oh, I really do like this, and I think I'm going to be a cook for a living. And that's as far as my goal was being a cook and for a living, thinking that that's what I would do, and it would end there. Because back then, the world of food was not what it is today. I mean, now at the restaurant, a table will call me over and they'll say, my 7-year-old wants to meet you because she's obsessed with you and she watches all your shows. That wasn't like that in 1974.
You are credited with being a major inspiration for the whole development of artisanal bread as a thing in America. At the time, there wasn't a whole lot of it in LA, if any.
Well, that goes back to the right place at the right time. So I opened a bakery with the style of bread that I made right at the time where the US was ready to embrace that style of bread. And so I got all that credit, which is great. It doesn't hurt. However, I did not invent bread, but I had the opportunity to be the pastry chef at a little restaurant that was going to be opening called Spago, with a chef that catered kind of to the stars in Los Angeles when he was at Ma Maison. But really, I didn't know him. His name was Wolfgang Puck. And it's like, should I really leave Michael's to go with Wolfgang Puck? And I really dragged my feet on that one, but I finally agreed to go. And really being there and being in the spotlight then is really what jump-started anything that became a success in my life, is that I really owe it to Spago.
Why'd you take the risk?
My future and then ex-husband, Mark Peel, was going to be the chef there. He tried to convince me to move, and I didn't want to do that. And so he did the next best thing, is he convinced my mother that I should go to Spago. And so she's the one that convinced me. So that's how I ended up at Spago.
Well, you get someone's mother on your side, it's over.
Yeah.